Hello Capricorn, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider hitting the subscribe button, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And you're following your star. This is a card of divine insight. This is a card literally of confirmation, right? You are following your destiny. I think this is a spiritual confirmation. This is an inner knowing that you're on the right path. I think that you have goals. You have a destiny that you're trying to reach. Sometimes the star card is like this feeling that our goals are so far away. See, it's a star, right? It's way out there. It's just a little point of light. But it's enough to activate us, right? It's enough for us to navigate our life by. It's enough for us to make decisions here on the earth in our human lives based on this little point of light way, way, way out there. Okay? And I feel like this is the energy that you have right now. This is a devotion. This is an allowing this light to come in, right? And allowing it to transform us and show us, reveal to us what we need to do, what we're here for, what our purpose is, what the meaning of our life is all about, answering the question, who am I? And why am I here? Let's put this card into a little bit of context. Let's see what's going on. Here we have the Temperance card. We've got a 5 of Cups. We got an Ace of Wands. There's that fire. We got a 7 of Cups. Okay, interesting. Well, we've got a 6, 5, 6, 7, right? I like that. I like that we have the 6 here to sort of balance out the 5 and the 7. I think that your emotions have been fluctuating. I think we're trying to go between these cups and find the clarity, stick to the plan, despite the fluctuating emotions, despite the distractions of other desires, other paths, getting kind of sidetracked a little bit by things. We're trying to go straight and narrow, right? Here we have the 2 of Wands. Yeah, trying to control our behavior, trying to maintain the authority and the piloting the ship, right? The 2 of Wands. There it is. I was waiting for that. The Devil card. Your Capricorn energy. That is your very best self. Okay? And the goat can't be distracted. The goat is charging up the mountain, doesn't really care what's going on, right? Doesn't care if it's alone, doesn't care if there's a whole group of goats there with you. I don't know what is a group of goats called? Probably a herd, right? I feel like this is the lone mountain goat. And I feel like nothing is going to stop you. And it's kind of in a way it's saying that we have to be obsessed with this. We've got the blinders on to this and to this. We're following the plan. We're following our will, which is divinely inspired. There is this confirmation from the universe, confirmation from your star, your true self, the universal energy, God, Goddess, deity, whatever you want to call it. The Princess of Cups is the kind of the energy we don't want. It's the obstacle, right? And of course, oh my gosh, another one. Another Capricorn power card. That's the Knight of Pentacles. This is the card that represents the Capricorn energy in action. This is uncanny. We don't usually get both power cards in one reading, especially this close together. It's basically saying stay in your own energy. Stay in your lane right now. You're doing everything right. Just keep it going. right? The positive changes that you're making, right? The future that you're trying to create, manifest, materialize. It's happening. Okay, I think there's a big breakthrough coming for you. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with Bubo, the mechanical owl, right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card is, put your prediction in the comments down below. Okay. Now, let's look around the room. We have 2 major arcana here, 1 here. So 1, 2, 3. We got fire. We got water, water, water. A little bit of air, right? And a little bit of earth. Stick to the plan. You've got a vision of the future. Stick to the plan. Keep doing what you're doing. Make sure every thought, word, and deed that comes out of you has a point. That all of your thoughts, words, and deeds are directed toward the heart, directed toward the star. This is literally you navigating by starlight. You're going through the pressure cooker, right? You've got the art or temperance card right on top of you here. And that's the real test. When you feel like you're in the pressure cooker, when you feel like you're on the blacksmith's anvil, life is knocking you around a little bit. Life keeps hammering you. Keep doing what you're doing. The goat is not going to give up when the terrain gets rough. You got those good hooves, you know. You're able to climb up the rocky cliffs. So you're doing it. Keep doing it. What you're doing right now is right. You're following your star. And the goat here, this devil energy, devil, as you know, the devil's not a bad card, right? It represents the engine. It represents the motivation. It's a powerhouse, right? It represents, that force in us that just wants to climb the mountain doesn't really honestly care what the mountain is. You could put the goat up in front of any mountain. It'll climb it because that's what it does. That's what it loves to do. It feels that power like the engine of the car. Just wants to roar. Doesn't care where the car's going. Or why, you know. But you've got that engine, you've got that endurance, that stamina, the obsession that you are locked in on your goal right now. And you're doing it in a way that is in harmony with your truest self. You have this divine plan. Yeah, you're going through the pressure cooker. Okay. You're going through the pressure cooker. But these 2 cards together, the confirmation here that what you're going through right now is exactly what you need to go through to become the person you need to become, to manifest this life that you're manifesting. Spirit saying, yeah, this is where you're supposed to be in the pressure cooker. You're supposed to be on the blacksmith's anvil, getting hammered into steel, right? Getting molded and shaped into the person that you need to be. You're right on schedule, right on target. Stick to the plan. Okay, and I think that this is that. I think you know that. I think that you can sense that. You can feel that the universe is confirming for you, and you may have been experiencing more signs and symbols and synchronicities lately. I think that we should all be journaling about that. The ways in which we experience the divine confirming our choices with us. The ways in which we realize that we're in that kind of harmony and that kind of flow. Are things happening in the physical world that confirm it? Is it a feeling? Is it a thought that comes to you? Is it just a kind of just a moment of bliss, where we realize that we're on our path and that we're doing what we need to do? It's the ability to smile briefly when we're in that pressure cooker, because I think, life is going to continue to bang us around. But that is exactly what we need right now. We're sticking to the plan. Underneath everything, you got your 5 of Cups. This is, to me, a turbulent emotional state. Okay? That sometimes we feel as if the waters are getting too choppy. Someone's stirring the pot way too much. Right? This is like, let's just slow it down to a low simmer. you know. But this is inertia, right? This is like, let's just slow things down until it's just like, it's molasses, you know, it's syrup, it's mud. It's not, we're not moving anywhere here. We're just, maybe things are going too fast down here. Things feel like they're going too slow up here. The turbulent emotions, and I think that you're someone who can understand that, yeah, this path that I'm on, whatever it is for you, if it's a career thing, life thing, spiritual thing, creative work, relationships, family, it doesn't matter. Whatever life it is that you're trying to create, you're very much aware that the ego is not always going to be having fun. The ego is not always going to enjoy the path. So you're able to feel the feelings that you have. You're able to sort of to navigate your life, not by how you feel, not by the surface level emotions. Let's put it that way. Really, not by the Princess of Cups, who is going to get distracted by other things that just feel good. You know, has other desires, just wants to go and feel different things, right? That's somebody who is their behavior is dictated by their feelings. Okay? You're aware of how you feel. You acknowledge how you feel. You use your feelings as guidance. Okay? I think you're able to understand that if I'm finding myself in the turbulent emotions inside, it's either because my Princess of Swords is waking up, you know, is causing too much trouble, is kind of speaking too loudly, or it's because Spirit's trying to tell me that there's some misalignment here. Okay, so I think you're somebody that knows how to pay attention to how you feel. And I think we need to. We don't want to identify with that, because I think the identification with our feelings puts us into this inertial state of stagnation and, well, quicksand. The swamp, right? This is someone who is so fully identified with whatever emotion it is, you know, that it's gonna prevent movement in the right direction. So you're someone that can look at your feelings and use them to sort of gauge what decisions, what choices, right? How we can continue to stay on course. We start to think, okay, I'm getting a little too close to the Seven of Cups. I need to readjust. I need to get back on course. I need to kind of make these little micro adjustments, these little subtle maneuvers to stay on course. Okay. Very often we ignore the Five of Cups. No one likes to feel the sadness, the pain, the uncomfortable feeling of being in the pressure cooker. Whatever the pressure cooker is for you, whatever the blacksmith's anvil is right now, what it was yesterday, what it will be tomorrow, you're going to feel some type of way about it. If we ignore how we feel, then it's kind of like we've left for the evening and the kids are home alone. We don't know what they're going to do, right? Let's just be home. So someone's got to watch the kids, you know. And my parents, they almost never left us alone when we were kids. We'd get into trouble, my brother and I. And that's kind of what the princesses are. These are some immature complexes that we have in us from the childlike complexes that we have, okay, that have a lot of power. And if we let them sort of have their run of the house, they're going to have their friends over. They're going to do some kind of stupid stuff that's going to, you know, kind of get us in trouble. So it's better to pay attention to how we feel so that we can kind of understand the message and we can make little course corrections if we need to. Okay. You have an Ace of Wands in the background here, yesterday's energy. This is will. This was the very beginning of this path for you. This is when, before it became even a thought or an action, right? Before it even became a feeling, it was this spiritual inspiration that came to you. Okay? And I think that this then becomes a feeling, then it becomes an idea, then it becomes actions. Okay? That we have to let the Ace of Wands become an Ace of Cups, and an Ace of Swords, finally an Ace of Discs, where we're moving forward. It all has to happen at once. Right? It becomes first the inspiration, then it becomes a feeling, then it becomes a thought, and then it becomes an action. And I think that it's probably always been one kind of thing for you. I feel like when you get started on something big, right, your big life path, your great work, your magnum opus, you're it. That blinders, your laser focus. You have an ability to control your attention. It's kind of like I'm going 0.0 degrees north, North Star, following that star. And that's, it's to me really, really focused, intense energy. And of course, when we start to drift into some other kind of waters, we realize, okay, well, maybe just holding to 0.0 degrees north, maybe I've drifted a little bit. Maybe I need to kind of go around something a little bit. Maybe I need to be just flexible enough. Because it would be easy to just hold the wheel at 0.0 north and we just tie a rope to it, we go take a nap, right? It's going to require a little bit of maneuvering. Your heading can be, we're going to go north, but maybe we'll be 360, maybe 50, maybe we'll be 5 or 10 degrees, and there'll be a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, because we'll drift a little bit. The seas are going to get choppy, and we're going to kind of drift. We're going to bring it back to center. Someone's got to be at the wheel, and that's the Two of Wands here. Someone is at the wheel, right? So you have this intense focus, but I think that you need a little bit of flexibility. You need to be able to see and feel, and you do, because you have this awareness of your feelings. You can see when the waters are starting to, maybe this is we're getting a little bit close to the marsh. Kind of means like we're drifting a little bit too close to land of some kind, right? The water's getting shallow, and we don't want to run aground. So we may say, what if there's something, you're going 0 degrees north, what if you're going to run right into another boat or right into an island? Well, maybe we've got to shift a little bit and go around. We have to be a little bit flexible. The Seven of Cups is really a confidence that we can get through any situation that we see in front of us, right? It's, smooth sailing did not ever create a great sailor, right? Great sailors were created in the choppy waters. And this is then your confidence that says, I've been through some choppy waters in my life. I'm in the pressure cooker. I'm getting hammered by life. You know what you're being hammered into? A very great sailor. Someone that is confident that whatever storms are out there, I can get around them, through them, over them, under them, whatever. No big deal. Of course, we don't want to sail into storms. I don't think anybody is running, unless you're one of them storm chasers or whatever, but typically don't do that. Okay. But to have this awareness, if we didn't have this, that's pretty good, right? Laser focus, head north, right? And well, if we didn't have that either, right? That's it. You fixed your heading toward your star. Stick to the plan. Everything's gonna happen as we expect. Well, until we get some unexpected stuff, until we get some pressure cooker type stuff, right? So we have to be aware that life is going to send some things our way. We are going to meet with challenges. There will be, on the vertical path here. It is the emotional, right? The emotional reactions to our path that are going to mold us into who we need to become. We're being molded into a very great sailor, someone who is in control of themselves, in control of their responses, reactions, their thoughts, words, and deeds. You're becoming the magician. And your work right now is of an emotional nature. As we're trying to move forward with a plan, Spirit is testing you with some emotional turbulence. You're going to stick to the plan, and even if it means we might have to make a couple little adjustments, couple, evasive maneuvers. Okay. If you're not aware of the Seven of Cups, if you don't see it coming, then we're never going to be able to get through it. It's going to take us by surprise. And again, it's the Princess of Cups. Those emotions that sneak up on us, it's like, the kids are getting in trouble. Anytime we get the princess of any suit, I think, okay, what are the kids up to? right? What are your emotions doing right now that you either aren't aware of, or you don't want to be aware of it, but you are aware of it, and we need to mitigate that influence. You don't want to let the kids drive the boat while you're taking a nap. Okay? I think they need a license or something, probably. So we're paying attention. In other words, we don't want to let our unconscious desires, or ego complex, emotional complexes, to steer the ship of our own lives, to make choices for us. We have to be aware of how are we making emotional choices right now. Is the course that I'm taking through life, how heavily is that influenced by how my ego feels? By these unconscious complexes. And the thing is, they're unconscious. You know, they only operate when we're not looking. I mean, those are some really crafty kids, right? That only when our back is turned do those kids, tie our shoelaces together. Rascals. They are rascals. And so we only know them by their effects. I only know them because, I find my shoelaces are tied together. Oh, you. But I can untie them, and I don't have to walk forward and fall flat on my face and bust my nose up, Lord knows I don't need that. So we have to focus on that. We have to see how that is kind of playing out in our lives before we just step into those actions and, feel the effects, right? So the six of swords in your future position, it is the divine plan. It is harmony of thought. Everything that you are doing has a point to it. Consciously, I think everything is right. It's just perfect. These are those things that are beneath you and above you that are going to sneak in and try to tie your shoelaces together. Okay? There's one mischievous sort of energy on the boat that's going to just kind of giggling and laughing. It's a trickster energy. It's a trickster energy. Okay? It's like there is a child in all of us that is just running around causing mischief, thinking that it's funny, but it really is, it's going against, right? The 5 is against the 6. The 7 is against the 6, right? This is Mercury in Aquarius. This is us following the perfect plan, the divine plan. I think the interesting thing is the realization, too, going forward, is that having this childlike complex that is sabotaging the boat, that's part of the plan too. That's part of the pressure cooker. The pressure cooker is a weird thing because it's kind of like when we're consciously dealing with pressure cooker problems and we're focusing on the issues and we're dealing with the problems and we're being molded and shaped and we're growing and all that stuff, we're getting stronger. There's also the unconscious aspect of that. Things are going on while we're distracted with the problem in front of us. Our complexes, our unconscious, our ego, in some sense, is being influenced by all those unconscious processes and complexes, right? That are also kind of steering us, like we're off to deal with some problem, let's say down in the engine room. And then the kids run up to the prow or to the wheelhouse and they start spinning the wheel around and pulling the levers and pushing all the buttons. Just because we're not there. Well, we have to go back and be there. So we can't be in two places at once. So I feel like that's kind of the energy right now. But it's all part of the plan. It's all this is what it has to be like, I think the breakthrough is coming. I think you have the endurance that you've been going through. You've been just dealing with life, in the best way possible. 2 of Wands. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. The 2 of Wands is a card of power and a power of the control that we have, the power we have over our own choices, thoughts, words, and deeds. I can't be down in the engine room fixing the engine and in the wheelhouse at the same time. And that's okay. It's impossible for you to do that. So don't worry about it. Don't let it frustrate you. Don't let it throw you off course. Don't let it, because it'll frazzle you, right? I think that's the operative word here, frazzled. Don't get frazzled. Just go do the engine room stuff. When the kids are upstairs messing with the wheelhouse, go upstairs, kick them out of the wheelhouse and fix what happened and continue on your merry way. You're the captain of the boat here, right? I think through the influence of Spirit. The Spirit's the captain. We're kind of just like the pilot. We're the one that kind of has to run the boat. We got to fix the engine. We got to steer the thing. Like, come on, you're in the galley cooking. You're doing everything. You can't be everywhere at once. So just take care of all of the responsibilities, all the problems that arise as you can, the best you can, and try not to get too dismayed by that reality. It feels like it's overwhelming. Yeah, you're in a pressure cooker. It's not, there's no way for you to solve every problem. As soon as you put out a fire over here, another fire over here. You do the best you can. You control yourself. You apply your energy in the best way that you can, and you don't let yourself get swallowed up by the emotions of that, by the frustration, yeah. You've got your devil energy in the environment. I think that in some ways you don't want a lot of help. It's kind of like we're saying, well, I'm the only one on the boat. How come I have to do everything? Well, I think that's how we prefer it. I think we are the lone mountain goat. I don't think you have a ton of relationships. I think you're more quality over quantity, And so if there's only a couple people on the boat, everybody's got to wear many, many hats. Okay? Well, maybe it's just you. And maybe this is the realization that I'm climbing this mountain. This is my life. I could have companions with me, friends, family that are coming too, but they're on their own journeys. We're all in our own boat, And there's this realization that I've got to make decisions for my boat. I've got to be responsible for my boat. If it's the galley, if it's the engine room, if it's the wheelhouse, it's all on me. I've got to be the one to do it, And so it kind of, in a way, feels like we're all little islands. Okay, I think part of your work right now is to reach out a little bit to other people, to connect with other people, and find ways to support other people and gain the support from others that you need, even if it's just kind of the emotional support. It's not saying, hey, can you put out some fires for me? Or can you run the galley, or can you fix the engine, I think it really is just almost a moral support that you might be needing right now. Okay. But the devil card, it's blinders. It's obsession. It's this feeling like I'm on this path, I'm doing it, this breakthrough is coming. And because we have that intensity, we don't really think to slow down and just like connect with other boats. The boat, everybody kind of like ties their boats together and we just have a party on the water. Well, no, you're full steam ahead. You ain't got time for that, Reminds me of watching the San Francisco Giants play at their stadium. I don't even know what it's called nowadays, but it's right by the bay, and so everybody would get in their little boats and they'd link up their boats and stuff, and they'd just be out there having a good time, waiting for a ball to come over the edge of the stadium there and land in the water. You don't have time for that. You're on a mission. Yeah. So I think there's a value in this, because I think you're making things happen in life. But there's also perhaps the suggestion that you should slow down a little bit and connect with people. Don't isolate yourself. Spend time with your friends, open up a little bit, have a good time, have some emotional and moral support by connecting with people on that level. Okay? And I think maybe that will even help out with our Princess of Cups here, because why do kids act out? Well, usually they're bored. They have a lot of energy and they don't know what to do with it, right? So you send them outside to play, and it kind of helps out. You got to give them something to do right? So I think because we have a 5 and a 7 and a princess, it's a message here that you need to have a little more fun. You need to relax a little bit. And you need to continue on the path you're on. That breakthrough is coming. And maybe once the breakthrough does happen, make sure that you enjoy yourself, connect with your people. Okay? Because the Princess of Cups is always going to be there and always going to be bored. Always going to be dreaming up other ways that it can have a good time when your back is turned. When you're not consciously paying attention to these feelings or these desires or these emotional complexes, they're going to kind of sabotage things on the boat a little bit. So we want discipline. We want to be firm with ourselves. We want to be in control of ourselves. We want to be kind of bossy with it, you know. But sometimes we have to just let the kids be kids, and just kind of give that complex or give that desire or give that feeling a way to be expressed, a way to relieve some of that pressure. Okay. And of course you have a Knight of Pentacles at the end here. Knight of Pentacles always looking toward the future, seeing the goal at the top of the mountain and figuring out the ways to get there. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles knows that every thought, word, and deed in the present moment is creating who you are, where you are, and what you're going to be doing down the road. So there's a sense of urgency. There's a sense of I got to stay laser focused, you know. Perhaps this card is kind of indicating a little bit of a pause, you know, to feel, to relax, to hang out, to have a good time before we continue on. Okay, there's always more mountain to climb. Maybe we take a little break here and there just to relieve some of the pressure in the pressure cooker, to relieve some of the tension. Yeah. I think we're creating positive changes in our life, at least in a physical sense, in a material world sense, maybe career, maybe finances. But the reading here seems to be about how are you experiencing it emotionally? Is there frustration? Is the pressure getting to you? And what can we do to sort of relieve some of that and feel good and continue on, you know, making progress? Maybe this is saying that, look, if we don't have some emotional harmony here, that we might not be able to stick to the plan. Okay, and well, let's look at the mystery card. We don't want to burn out. We don't want to kind of lose steam, right? I think that in some way we're creating steam because your will, right, your Ace of Wands, your will to get out of the mud, your will to change your life, the confidence that you have that you can get through the difficulties of life and get the life that you want, is creating the steam and the pressure. I think basically what it is, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself because you're saying, I want to improve the quality of my life. I don't want to be stuck here where I am. I want to be moving forward. So we're creating the pressure. We're putting the pressure on ourselves. Yeah. And I think that's a really powerful energy. I think we need to sometimes pop the top off the pressure cooker and let the steam out and relax and chill, reward ourselves, reward our, you know, our emotional body and physically too, rest, you know, and so that we can kind of regain that energy and we can do it again. Let's look at the mystery card. Yeah. Tower, Wheel of Fortune, maybe the Empress, maybe the Chariot. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Oh, look at that. Yeah, look at that Tower. This is a couple of things. I think this is, yes, breakthrough's coming. What you're doing, what you've been obsessed with, it's gonna be sky's the limit here. Okay, I think it is a real breakthrough that's happening. Major leveling up. Okay, I think this is also kind of the idea of if we don't relieve the pressure in this pressure cooker, if we put too much pressure on ourselves, we're liable to crack open and break. Okay, So there is this idea here of kind of letting some steam out, allowing ourselves to have some kind of emotional release. We need to laugh. We need to love. We need to feel good. We need to play some practical jokes on people, We got to let the Princess of Cups have a little bit of expression. Or we've got to find a way that we can consciously utilize that energy so that when we turn our back, that Princess of Cups isn't sabotaging us and causing more problems, because then it's just like more pressure on us. So it's almost like we're making things worse by not giving a little bit of attention to some of these desires and these unconscious drives that we have. Because, that's what the Devil card is. It's our drive. It's your creative drive, but it's also an aggressive drive, and it's also a pleasure drive. And sometimes if we don't give a little bit of energy over to the pleasure drive, it'll become an aggressive drive. We try to put everything into the creative drive, and we ignore the other two. We ignore the other two. The other two are going to cause problems. The aggressive drive, the pleasure drive. We're going to get mean, we're going to get angry, we're going to get frustrated, and we might find our way into some habits, some circumstances, some choices that are just, exaggerated kind of pleasure-seeking things, right? And so we kind of have that here too. We have the ace and we have the 2. 1, 2, 3. This is your creative drive. This is the pleasure drive and the aggressive drive that they want to have a voice too. And so I really feel that life has to be a balance between them. We have to have our creative drive. I'm trying to do good in the world. I'm trying to level up. I'm trying to improve the quality of my life. I'm trying to alleviate suffering for myself and others. I want to create something. I'm a magician. It's my job to create. But I also have this drive toward pleasure, this drive toward competition. And I think we give a little bit over to that pleasure drive, and it's then we're able to keep the creative drive as our main focus. Yeah, I think there's something there, and I think the Tower kind of is asking kind of like which one of these drives is gonna win out. Is it the creative drive, the aggressive drive, or the pleasure drive? Which one is going to get the energy? Which one's going to have the breakthrough? So I like this. I think this reading is very, very important, especially with all the Capricorn energy and all the fire we have right now. And how we're sort of dealing with that, managing it, how we're putting the pressure on ourselves, but how are we going to relieve some of that pressure so that we can stay focused on what really matters. Now we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. We're going to do an I Ching hexagram. We're going to do some oracle cards. New readings for Capricorn Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.